it now. And now there are officially total 64 institutions which are run by Indian um, Indian Council of Agricultural Research, or ICAR. Out of these 64 institutes, many are aligned with the stakeholder. The ultimate stakeholder of an ICAR organization is the agriculture market, and those people who are directly related to it. So, but some ICR institutes are hardcore research institutes, and they do basic research which may be a little far from the field. But these institutes, many institutes have some branches, smaller branches, and therefore they recruit a lot of people, not only for R&D, for administration, because if you run an institute you also need to have a administrative setup and some official setup, as you can understand. Just hold on. Yes. So so what happens is, yeah, so what happens is, they recruit a lot of people, and they it is not necessary that they'll only recruit people from agricultural background. Yeah, it is there that there are some specific posts which are only made for those people who are having a specific agriculture degree, BSc Agri, MSc Agri, so forth and so on. But there are also couple of interdisciplinary subjects and experts who should belong to MSc Microbiology. Then there is agricultural extension and agricultural engineering. Then there are also requirement for people who are from food technology background, and those who are from chemical engineering, chemistry, even humanities. So it is a pretty couple of mix of many disciplines. If you see the location of these institutes, it also gives a little idea that how exactly over the year our agricultural scenario has shaped. Okay. One more thing you will appreciate by seeing the location of these institutes, you'll see that agriculture by and large is mainly dependent on the climate, environment and meteorology of a particular region. Now when we talk about meteorology, we are essentially talking about the abiotic things, physical things that shapes a particular area. For example, the structure of the soil, the the uh, the nutrients that are present in the soil, the content of different chemicals, the altitude, the usual temperature, the GPS coordinate, that means longitude, latitude of a particular region, the presence of water bodies, presence of hills, then rainfall. All these factors will will aid to take the decision that where a particular agricultural research station will be built. Okay. So I should also tell you that during the first couple of 5 year plans, just post independent era, that is like during the 1950s and all, many of the institutes were being built, and there was a specific authoritative body or regulatory administrative uh, mechanism which decided the location of these institutes. So several many things, and I must tell you, for many a times these questions are appearing in ICAR joint entrance exams and ICAR recruitment exams as well. Many a times people will find the justification why a particular institute is located in a particular place, even in JRF net and this kind of what shall I say is examinations as well. Okay, so let us start about this thing. It is a random list, official random list. Now, first institute was built in Port Blair, and if you see the name, it will suggest you that it is ICAR Central Island Agriculture Research Institute, which is in Port Blair, that is in Andaman. The Andaman is a small island which is situated in the Bay of Bengal and in the southeastern region of Indian subcontinent. Now, this institute looks after the specific kind of agriculture that is possible in islands. So, because it is the one of the most important island of India, the Island Agriculture Research Institute is present in Port Blair. Now, subsequently, we will come down and we will see that ICAR Central Arid Zone Research Institute is in Jodhpur. Now, what exactly an arid research institute means? Now, arid zone is the zone where the air is very dry, the moisture content is low, and it have a continental type of weather. Now, continental type of weather means a weather when in the night time it is very cold and in the daytime it is very hot, and therefore therefore in those regions the velocity of air is much high and the air is very dry. Since the air is very dry, it is very light and therefore it can move faster, and since heat captures the air and makes the air light, there is a vacuum and therefore there is so much movement of the air in the open space in arid region. Now, arid region is generally present in an area which is basically dry, as I have said, and it is near the desert region. Now, in desert region, the agricultural scenario is a bit different from the mainland. Okay, now how it is different from the mainland? You will see small herbs and shrubs. Herb is like small plants, and many a times these herbs will have thorns developed throughout their bodies. Now, this kind of adaptation you will not find very large tree in a arid region or arid or semi-arid region. Okay, you will find large canopies in tropical rainforests and tropical subtropical region, but not in a arid region. As I have said, that water is very less scanty, and therefore a specific kind of adaptation is there in their plants. So in those regions you need to develop agriculture. It is not that since it is very dry you will not have agriculture. With sufficient agricultural extension, that means sufficient irrigation and so on, you can develop very good agriculture in those regions. So it will be good if you write down some points. For example, what exactly an arid zone means, which kind of vegetation can be seen in arid regions. This kind of things if you write down, it will be good for you. This is Jodhpur is present in this thing.